So
Yeah,
this
now it's
is
fine.
this summarizes what the recruitment module is to do with the Workday, how we are going to configure the whole module in Workday. So the first step is of demand creation. How we do it? We do it by creating job requisitions. So we have seen what are job requisitions, right? So using the task create job requisition, we'll start preparing the job requisition. Once we click on the submit button of the job requisition task, job requisition business process will get triggered. So by triggering, I mean it will start. The steps involved in the job requisition BPs will be executed one by one in the sequence. Okay. So we have to make sure that job requisition BP, which includes the mandatory step as posting. So what is the whole purpose of this job requisition BP getting triggered? It is to post that particular job either externally or internally. So we have to make sure that job requisition BP is configured before any job requisition is created. So what happens in Workday? The BP includes steps, and those steps could be itself a small sub-process. Okay, so posting is similarly a sub-process included in the job requisition BP. It is a step, okay, and it itself a BP. So it will get triggered, and you by this business process, the posting of the jobs will be done externally or internally. Okay, so what will happen once the posting business process gets completed? One URL will get generated by the Workday system, okay, on the job requisition. So it will be the posting link sort of for that particular job requisition. So if we'll click on that URL, we'll be able to navigate to that particular job requisition posted on some external site. Okay, it will open in the browser. So candidate will apply using URL. So since URL is created, it means it is posted somewhere. So candidates will be able to see it and they will apply it. Then as soon as they click on the submit button for the data for the job application in which they are giving the data, job application business process will get triggered. Okay. Now we'll take an example of a company and we'll go as the candidate and click on the submit button for that job application. Okay, so we will come to know when this job application BP will get triggered. So what will happen? Job application business process should also be configured before it is posted online, because once it's posted, candidates will start filling the job applications. So configure job application BP before it is triggered. Then make sure each segment of job application BP are configured. Now we'll examine the job application BP, how it looks. It consists of various segments as we discussed, right? Screening, reviewing, interview, background check. So those are itself individual business process. So we have to make sure those are also configured as per our requirement. Then what happens once the candidate is in the job application process, he will be moved forward. Okay, I'll show you how it will be moved forward. uh, Only recruiters can do it. Primary recruiters, we implementers cannot do it. Okay, so we'll see how we will proxy as a recruiter and see in the job requisition how candidate is moved forward from one stage to another. Okay, so let me go into the,
I have a doubt.
yeah.
For few jobs, it will be like it should be posted only on the internal career site, and for the few jobs, it may be both, right? That is not like the same every time. So how can we do that while we are creating or creating the job requisition, or how can we change it every time when we want it?
Okay, means when we want to post it internally or externally, you mean?
Yeah, means
Okay,
are we
so
getting to
in the,
select?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm getting it.
Mm,
While executing the posting job BP, the recruiter gets the option of whether we want this requisition to be posted internally, externally, or both.
okay,
Okay, so
I got it.
recruiter will get a mail with the option of selecting the portal, whether it is internal or external. We'll see it, okay? So this
Okay.
summarizes the whole recruiting flow. This is how it is done. So we have to make sure that before creation of anything, the BPs are configured perfectly, okay? So we will first look into the configuration of BPs. So our most important BP is job application BP. Okay, when it is triggered, let me take an example. Let's go to the site
And
of,
yeah,
sorry.
so so Shilpa, you said that this summarizes the recruiting workflow.
Yeah,
So does this means that we have in total two business processes? That's it?
majorly two business process and some sub process like
Sub-
posting
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the segments
But
sub process. So we'll go to the PwC site. It is Workday integrated. Okay, and we'll go there as a candidate and we'll apply to a job application. Okay, so this is one of the job requisition with a title which is posted on the external site. Okay, so how we can do this posting, we'll see through Workday. So as a candidate, I'll click on apply and it will redirect me to the Workday interface. Since this company has Workday integrated for its recruitment activities. Okay, so the first option it asks for is to create an account. Okay, so this option is only possible when we select the option in the edit tenant setup task of recruiting. So I can give anything. So even this option is also set using that edit tenant setup task. We'll create an account. Okay, I want to save this part. So you can see over here, this is Workday integrated. Okay, and it has various information stages for the job application. So whatever data we are going to fill, it will be included in the job application information. And once we click on the submit button, this particular data will get stored in the PwC's Workday database forever, and it will be considered as the uh, you know data for future references as well. Okay, so this data will be fetched in various stages of the recruiting. So these are the information. Similarly, we'll go till end. See, these are the help text. So these help text should also be there. It's the duty of the implementers. No. Legal name. It will not accept because it should be inclined with the phone code. Okay, so similarly, work experience, education, it will ask for resume. Okay, and so on. We'll go till review, and once we go to the review part and click on save and submit, the job application business process will get triggered. Okay, and what job application business process looks like, let's get into that. So in Workday, we have default definition, as you'll be knowing that earlier as well. So this is Workday defined. It includes the maximum number of options which we can include for the job application of our organization. So this business process is very different from the regular ones. It is a dynamic business process because it may or may not follow the linear sequence of stages being executed. We can configure it totally as per our need. For example, let's get started. So once the job application is submitted by the candidate, review candidate is the mandatory step. He will be considered in the review candidate stage for sure, and it is done generally by the recruiter. And as you can see, we cannot delete this step. So this is the initial step, which is mandatory. So recruiter will get a notification, okay, in his mailbox to review the candidate, okay, and he will perform certain actions, maybe on his own, on his side, and without the interaction of the candidate, he will do it. So in the review stage, what happens? What all possible steps he can take, we can define it over here. They are not mandatory, but we can select anyone from here. If we'll see the drop down, see over here, we can include any step. So we have certain companies who take only one round for the selection. Some take 7 rounds, some take 6 rounds. Okay, so in one round itself, they can do all these activities. Okay, so in the review stage itself, they can do the assessment, then interview, and they can even select a candidate for ready for hire. But that is very rare, but Workday provides this ability. Okay, so we will try to include each and every possible case. Sorry, we are not supposed to edit this default definition. So I'll just explain you, and when we'll start configuring, we will look into it. We can put a condition over here. What kind of candidates will be going for this particular step in the review stage. Okay, and who will perform it? The security groups. Okay, so yesterday we were not able to see a segment-based security group, right? Over here, if you remember.
Yeah.
That was because we have not edited the business policy of this BP. We have not included that security group in the participants list of the job application. So once I do it, you'll be able to see it. I'll do it at the end. So these are the possible steps which can be configured. Then step label override.
And so in each of these rows, we will be able to, are these all the predefined steps, or we can create our own as well?
These are predefined, the ones which are visible in the drop down.
Okay.
And we cannot.
And the client.
Yeah, client will know that these are the only possible mandatory possible steps, and he will tell you to select from these list only.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need to create any new ones actually. Okay.
No.
And Shilpa, one more thing. Here we are having a security group as recruiter, right? But
Yeah.
now we are hearing in many companies they are using a bot system for screening, for reviewing the applications.
Okay. So
Does
what
work?
will happen?
Yeah.
Oh. So in this phone screening also, this recruiter recruiter will make sure that the screening is done. Means he will be responsible to carrying out this particular task of screening also. He not necessarily has to do it manually, but he will make sure that software is working fine and the applicants are getting screened through a software perfectly.
Okay, so here the phone screen means it is an automatic screening software.
Yeah, phone screening. So phone screening could even include the manual interaction with the candidate on phone, or it could be through a software, third-party software, which the company might be integrated with. So this particular person has to make sure that this step is done perfectly. Either it could be manually or automatically.
Okay, okay. I got it. And one more thing also, Shilpa, in the
Yeah.
previous screen we have seen while you're giving some information in the PwC career candidate homepage,
Yeah.
while while you're giving some information for phone number, it had shown some like what do you say? It had thrown an error saying it does not incline with the what do you say the region.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we going to set up those validations as well, or will someone take care of it?
I think we won't be doing that, but
Okay.
I'll give you an idea how it is done.
Okay.
Okay. Once we,
And, and
yeah.
I'm sorry, one more thing also. Will that even check the validation for the postal code, whether it is aligned with the area or not?
That is an inbuilt function already for the
Oh,
logics. Means the inbuilt database will make sure that the data which is selected in all the field is matching, and if it is not, it will throw an error.
okay, okay. I got it, Shilpa. Thank you.
Okay. So
One more question, Shilpa.
yeah.
So, is there any concept of a primary recruiter also in recruiting module? Primary recruiter
Yes,
and recruiter?
yes, yes. He plays a very major role, primary recruiter. So what he does,
Okay.
uh, he carries out the initial steps of the hire business process, and also in some organization, only primary recruiter can post the job externally or internally.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah. So
because here we are recruiters in these groups, so that's the reason I thought I'd ask. Because as far
okay.
as I understand, that's part of recruitment module. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us check over here. So primary recruiter is yet not configured. I think we have a separate topic to set up the primary recruiter. So with that, we have to
Okay.
do some security updates as well.
Yeah.
Let me search. So primary recruiter is also a type of recruiter only. You know?
Yes, 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 yes.
So
Yeah.
by selecting recruiter, we can also select. It also means primary recruiter, but we'll see how it is mentioned specifically.
Sure.
So we can also add step label override over here. So the name of this particular step will be shown over here as recruiter phone screen. Okay, so the candidate will get a sort of communication that this particular round will take place, the name, and it's not mandatory. Okay, so we can select similarly the rest of the options as well, and we can also select the conditions. Then the next stage is of phone screen. So initially what was here was only screen, but now they have specified it to phone screen. So this BP has changed for Workday in this particular release. So you can see over here, all these options are there and they are same for each of the segment generally. So phone screening by recruiter, phone screening could be done by manager also. So in one particular stage, there could be a lot of screening stages as well, performed by different groups. So for that to happen, we have to select this as well. Assessment by recruiter, interview, reference check. No check if source is internal. So this is the condition. If internally someone is hired, then we don't have to do it. Then offer. Allow offer if job application is not for evergreen requisitions. We'll see what are evergreen requisitions in future. They are generally always in demand and they are for bulk hiring. Allow offer if no employment agreement exists. Okay, this is one of the condition which is Workday owned. So if we'll select offer, they will populate automatically. Background check. No check if source is internal by recruiter. Allow ready for hire if job application is not for evergreen requisition. Okay. So what happens if we select ready for hire, automatically these 4 sub-process will be executed. 1, 2, 3. So contract contingent workers for contractual basis candidates. Generally these 4 sub-process also we need to make sure that are configured. Okay. So it includes all these sub-processes by default. So step level override. So what happened? The candidate will move in sequence, okay, for each of the stage. And if it is not mentioned, let's suppose no data is given in the assessment stage, it will directly move forward to the interview stage. Okay, so that is how we skip the stages. Then same, all the options are same over here also. Reference check. So over here, let's see all the possible steps of it. So you can see it is very dynamic. We can even in reference check include some sort of assessment or interview or phone screening. So that's the reason it's dynamic. It doesn't follow any particular linear sequence of events to take place. Employment agreement, see over here no data is given. It means this particular step won't execute. Then background check. Okay. And in background check, the last step is for ready for hire. Okay. Background check ready for hire should be there. It could also be there in the previous stages as well. But if a candidate is moving till background check and it is there, then ready for hire is a must. Okay. So any doubts in that? You can open your own tenant as well and see how these are configured. This is the default BP job application definition. Now we'll scroll
What
down.
is the approximate time frame? Is there any, do we need to, once we become implementers, do we also need to, because this is like our bid, right? It hasn't reached the recruiter. So
Yeah.
is there any time frame also that the client needs us to follow?
Yeah, definitely. He will ask us that this particular process should be configured within 1 week of time so that
Exactly.
yeah, definitely client will ask for
Yeah.
time
No, I
limits.
mean, not the configuration time. Does the client track like in how much time does the candidate move from the job requisition BP to the job application BP? How much time job requisition BP takes to complete so that the candidate can move to the next BP?
No, over here, no such time is given. No such time is
Okay.
given in that case. But it all depends upon the previous stages completion time. If that is completed, the next set of round will be automatically populated in the recruiter's information. And the recruiter will decide when that particular step should be executed. He will decide the date of the interview or of screening or of assessment, but he will get the notification that now his work is in picture for the job application BP. I hope I'm clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to understand because in recruitment, as a topic, right, it is always measured in times. You know how much time it takes to fill a position, right? So I was trying to see if that works in Workday as well, because it's
Okay.
different, right? I mean, companies will
Yeah, yeah.
always talk about hiring managers will always want to know. Yeah.
So some companies you have seen, right, in 1 or 2 days they complete the whole review process, the recruitment process. Some take months, right? So that all
Correct.
depends upon the
Correct.
security groups decision. They will know that they have to do this. Like we'll come to know that in January and Deloitte will open opportunities for Workday consultants. So that recruiter has already decided.
Yeah.
So we have certain possible dispositions reason as well. So let's suppose if we don't find the candidate suitable and we want to decline him, then we have to decline him with a particular dispositions reason. So some of them are already present in the tenant and some we can create as well. So you can see over here, candidate not interested, does not meet job qualification, failed background check, unsuccessful assessment. So these are all the reasons. So it depends upon the client's requirement whether uh, he wants to specify this particular reason to the candidate or not, or just tell him that you were not selected. So it depends upon the client's requirement. Let's suppose if we select no show. So for particular job application, we can select which all reasons will be on the basis of which all reasons the person will be declined. There's another option of parallel stages, which is not there currently in this tenant. Uh, it is also same as these steps, but what happened, let's suppose we want certain parallel stages to also execute side by side. Like in review, phone screen assessment is taking place, and we want again phone screening to take place side by side. Then in that particular section, we'll add a phone screening option in the review segment and we'll give a step label override, because this phone screening and that phone screening will overlap. So we have to give a step label override, that's why. But that is very rare. It is very rare, but that is also one of the feature.
So it is not available in this training tenant. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not present over here. Otherwise, we'll get one option over here.
Parallel stages.
Parallel,
Okay.
parallel stages. Okay. Now we were supposed to get our segment-based security group, right? So we'll go in the edit. Where we want to put him. Let's put him in the review action step. Okay. Okay. Okay, that is because domain policy also needs to be updated. Okay, over here. Yeah.
Shilpa 2 is the manager, segmented security group that you're adding.
No, I'm not adding that. What we are adding is Shilpa underscore recruiter.
So you're
So
adding
that
recruiter to all the domains and business process definitions. Okay.
yes. And there's one another BP job application change job or edit. We have to add in the edit job application BP also, because we are going and editing it, right? So that is the BP we are going into. It's not there. So in this tenant edit job application, BP is not there.
Cannot copy the BP. We have to edit it. Mandatory? Is it mandatory?
We will be copying it when we'll start configuring. I will just explaining. We will do it.
Okay. 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 Maybe that is why it is not there in this new tenant.
No, but whatever kind of the BP we take and make changes in the policy, it will be reflected in every business process. Like if for my organization I change in the BP policy, right? So it will be reflected in this
Yeah.
default definition as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe Shilpa, because it is a segment-based security group, are we going to see
It's
where?
coming over here. Actually, this was the reviewing stage. We were not supposed to make changes over here. This stage included the steps over here, but actually the review candidate stage is over here. So that's why it's coming over here. And we have not added in any other, stages. So this is the screening process, right? This is the assessment process. So that's why it was not coming here. It's coming here, review candidate.
I'm not
Is
getting
it
it, Shilpa.
okay?
No.
So what we did in the in the business process definition, we have added this person's security group only and only in the review section, right? And
Okay.
not
Okay.
in the
Yes.
screen or assessment. So what are these?
Okay.
These are also individual segments, right? The screening assessment, which is part of review round only.
Okay.
We've added only in the review step. So that's why it's coming over here. I hope I'm clear.
Yeah.
So this is a very important concept, means security groups, who should have the access and everything. This is very common ask of the client. Let's go into the supervisory organization. So there are certain supervisory organization already present. We don't have to worry about SUPOG details. It will be given to us. Like currently I'm working in a project where I'm getting the details for SUPOG and security groups and everything.
Shilpa, I have one more doubt.
Okay.
If I have to add that recruiter, Shilpa recruiter, to the review stage, like assessments and reviews, and where do we need to add, which domain we need to add that recruiter?
Okay.
Because there were multiple things, right? Review, background check, reference check. So we need to add that recruiter to all of them, right? That is what it should be.
Okay.
I think so.
We can add it. We can add it.
I mean, I'm just confirming because there were multiple options, right? Multiple domains, basically. So
Okay,
we
like
need
I'll
to.
show you. Okay, just a second. So review stage is something which will include the recruiters. Let's suppose we made segment-based security groups, right, for questionnaires. Okay, so let me
Yeah.
go to the questionnaire part.
Okay.
The questionnaire is not there.
Questionnaire is not here actually. That is what.
Oh, I
Assessment is
don't,
there. What
but we
screen is
didn't
there?
create it.
Correct. Yeah, that is what I mean. There are multiple.
Yeah, I think this is the access issue of this tenant. This is a training tenant. As you know, we have very limited access. And I won't be able to show you my client's tenant. So we will have a option for questionnaire. Where we will give the segment based security group, where we give the access of manager to certain questionnaire responses. So we will add that security group in that particular section only.
Okay.
And let's suppose if you want to see the recruiter over here. Which stage we added? We added in reference check. Do we really want to see? Okay, that is because I have to see the reference check step only. Let me add over here. See over here it's coming. So it is for the steps as well. So these are segments in itself, right?
Those are for segments, correct?
Yeah. Now I'll go to the Spark. And you know, right, how we create BP from the SOPOP, how we strip it? Because we can create BPs only using a particular SOPOC. Similarly, requisitions also. And everything has to be connected to a SOPOC. So we will be getting the details as per the requirement. Like if we want to do some job posting in some particular area, then the valid company, cost center, and supervisory organization will be given to us. So this is one of the one. So business process, create, copy, or link definition. So what we'll be doing, we'll be just copying the existing default definition and we'll make changes on that. Job application. We will copy existing, click on OK. Okay, so we just copied the format for the job application BP from the default definition, and we now have to give the details as per our requirement. So first of all, this is the mandatory step, right? So we have to give which security group will be doing actions on this.
So Shilpa, I have a doubt.
Yeah,
Here we have copied the existing definition, right?
yeah.
So won't we be seeing the things here in the review section saying phone screen assessment and all?
Yeah, ideally we should have seen it, but let me check.
Because when we just create a same definition, then we will get this template. So I'm
Yeah,
just
just a
confirm whether it's correct or
just
not.
a
Okay. Maybe it's a tenant issue, I think.
no, not tenant issue. This is a dynamic BP, That's
Okay.
why if we select the normal BP, then it will show all the steps.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what we missed was over here. We were creating job application type BP, right? So over here we defined that. So from
Yeah.
here, the template was getting copied, but we didn't specify over here. Okay, it's already created. I have to deactivate that first. See, this is created. I need to deactivate. Only then I'll be able to make another BP for the job application. So for one SOPOC, we can create only a particular type of BP once, right? If you remember in the certification, this must have been told to you.
Yes, yes. You have to inactivate the wrong one, the
Yeah,
incorrect one.
yeah. We will select the default definition. And we never edit the effective dates while creating any kind of PP. No dates update should be done. Okay, sorry, we are not supposed to do. Why we are not able to do? So now all the data is covered. We can edit it as per our need. Okay. Like in my current project, I only need interview stage and then the background check. In between, no data should be there. So what we have done, we have just removed this data from each segment and it will not go to it then. Okay, so this is how we configured the job application VP. Let me go back and let us view. So you know, right, how these security groups get the notification or the mail for taking a particular action, right? Like you must have executed higher BP in your certification. So we'll go to the inbox and we'll see a mail, a task mail for, let's suppose, assessment or phone screening. Okay. So similarly, we'll be getting for each stage one task mail which recruiter has to perform action on. Let me check if I can filter out any step for the recruiter. Actually, this is implementer's account, so I won't be able to do it. Let me go back to job application. Okay, so you would also be required to make similar kind of job application. So it will be included in the activity. So what I'll be doing, I'll be creating a support for the 4 candidates over here. So for the 100 underscore Sadaf will be for you, Sadaf, okay? It will be for Bhavna. And similarly for other 2 candidates, I don't remember the name for them, but I'll do it. So you can just go to this particular support and create your own BP. Okay. Also, we have certain other predefined segment-based security groups to see the job application based on each stage. Okay. So let's suppose these are the segments present. Okay. So we want only managers to see the job application information in the assessment stage. So we'll create a security group, we'll add manager, and we'll select this segment. Okay, job application. Similarly, for each stage, we have the segments prepared in Workday. But in our current tenant, they are not visible. So it's the issue. I'll try to find a screenshot. It's simple as the one we have seen yesterday, right? For job application, external candidate, internal candidate, and contingent worker. So similarly, we have for viewing the job application details at each and every step. Who can view it? Okay. So any kind of doubts you have from today's session, we'll be getting the activities and it will become more clear to you all.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So
And Shilpa, I have okay, are we done with today's session?
yeah, so today we are done with it. And in the upcoming sessions, we'll configure each and every BP and see what all it includes. We'll create requisitions and post them and apply candidates. Everything we'll do. So for today, we were supposed to do job application BP configuration.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.